Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the annual Forest Growers Research Conference. I hope that everyone enjoyed the sessions yesterday and came away with a new sense of interest and awareness from some of the exciting array of presentations. Today, we're going to start with a presentation from Jason Wilson, who, as most of you will know, was recently appointed as the head of Te Uru Rākau. Following Jason's presentations, we're going to switch gears and focus on the existential issue of climate change. I'd like to start by thanking Jason for taking the time to present at our conference. We certainly appreciate that he is busy with a large array of constantly changing priorities. However, we value him taking the time to outline some of the activity he and his agency are working on. As most of you are aware, the government focus on forestry has changed dramatically over the last 5 years. Firstly, with the establishment of Te Uru Rākau under the coalition government, as well as the initiation of the 1BT initiative, and more recently with the evolution of Te Uru Rākau to Te Uru Rākau New Zealand Forest Service under the Labour government and Minister Nash. In parallel to the changes within MPI released its Fit for a Better World initiative in 2020, which outlines a strategy for how New Zealand's primary sectors can support post-COVID economic recovery. In addition, Te Uru Rākau was tasked with developing a forestry-specific industry transformation plan, which Jason had previously been leading. Lastly, the Climate Change Commission released its advice to government on how best to achieve New Zealand's net zero 2050 climate commitments. And although many would argue forestry could play a bigger role in achieving these targets, the report acknowledged the critically important role that afforestation will play, as well as looking to diversify New Zealand's energy landscape, placing a greater emphasis on the importance of biofuels and the use of biomass to reduce our nation's reliance on hydrocarbons. Understanding how all of these strategies come together and how the government may respond to the Climate Change Commission report will be critically important to the sector. So I'd like to thank Jason once again for taking the time to talk with us today about how some of the activity he is overseeing in these areas is likely to come forward in the next 12 to 24 months. Following Jason, we will hear from Grace Villamore of Scion, who is recognised internationally for her work in social systems modelling and behavioural economics. Grace currently leads Research Aim 1 of the Resilient Forest Program, which explores risk management and social perceptions related to forestry. In her talk today, Grace is going to present some of the work undertaken within Resilient Forests that attempts to understand the perceived risk regarding climate change and how these factors may influence our response to such risks. Next, we'll hear from Robin Hartley about Scion's recent work using remote sensing systems that not only have the potential to improve the utility of remote sensing, but also increase the accuracy and application of remote sensing within forest management. Lastly, in this session, we'll hear from Ian Hinton of Timberlands. Ian is going to review some of the practical science that Timberlands have been undertaking, exploring the impact of climate change within the Kaingaroa estate. Ian will outline the implications of their studies to date, with a particular emphasis on how it could influence their estate strategy and subsequent forest management. I think collectively these talks represent an incredibly exciting session that clearly shows how collaboration across government, research and industry can all align and not only deliver exciting new research, but also have a practical application for managing forest systems. So without further delay, I will hand over to the first of our speakers, Jason Wilson.